Welcome everyone to the first off-season of the Munich Wolverines. Last episode we went through the college season, saw some really good prospects, and now they are here. The draft class is here and we're just moments away from drafting hopefully the next superstar. There are some really cool prospects available as we saw last episode. But first of all, it's time to go through coach hiring and free agency. There's a lot to do for us, so let's get into it. I was pretty happy with the performance of our defensive coordinator Louis Lewis, but our head coach Lawrence King not too impressive here. Also, we expected more, and I'm very sorry, Lawrence, but you are fired just because there is such a good head coach available. I talked about him last time, Paul Steed, offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers. Not sure if he called the plays, but he had an undefeated season with Tom Brady. Really good in terms of offensive yards produced and points that they had every game. So Paul Steed, we need to get him as our head coach. Not changing his preference, but just to have a deeper look into his offensive preferences. He prefers a pocket QB, not necessarily what Desmond Ridder is, and short passes with wide receivers who have reliable hands. So that's totally against how I would like to play offense. But I'm in the owner's seat. I saw that this was successful and we have the wide receiver for that. With Amon-Ra St. Brown, he is really the definition of reliable hands. There is also with Jackson Smith-Njigba another player who we could target. But first of all, let's increase the salary up to 5 million and offer 5 years and see if we can sign Paul Steed. Would be really important for us. Let's sim this week and yes, Paul Steed is part of the Munich Wolverines, our new head coach. And this is a big signing already at the start of the offseason. Not a big signing, but a huge loss is Julio Jones. He decided to retire after his one and only season in Germany, in Munich. I mean, in reality, he created the first ever touchdown on German ground on a regular season NFL game. So happy that we had one season out of him, but yeah, with 34 years old, he does not want to come back. Would have been good enough, but now we have a big hole on wide receiver. So this is for sure one position we could target. I also thought about quarterback. If there's someone available, we could maybe upgrade, but I'm not trying to trade up to first overall to get CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. I don't think that we're in the position right now. Also with a mid-first round draft pick, yeah, we're just not able to do that. Offensive line is looking really good, so wide receiver could be an option. And defensively, we need a defensive tackle and an edge rusher. Also on linebacker, so we need to beef up the front. I think on the secondary, we're looking pretty good, but we need those playmakers in our D-line. Free agency could be the best way for us to get better as fast as possible. We have 75 million in available cap room, but we need to keep in mind that our players are rather young and we need to extend them, but we need help on D-line. And that could be Jadeveon Clowney, that could be Fletcher Cox. I would love to draft Jalen Carter from Georgia, but with a mid-round 1 pick, don't think that's realistically possible, so it's always best to not have a big hole, before the draft and being forced to draft a player. With that said, let's see if we can sign someone here. And yes, Fletcher Cox is part of the Munich Wolverines. We're not getting Rashaan Evans. I also wanted to have him, but this is the way more important signing. Fletcher Cox on a 2-year deal, very expensive, but again, we have the cap room right now, really good strength, and let's hope that he can have higher sacks and also more tackles for loss and be a force on the interior D-line to rush the passer and also stop the run. Looking at the free agent report, the Texans offer more for Jadeveon Clowney. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. Also here, Mike Hughes, the Texans are in the run for. He actually is a really good cornerback. We don't need a corner, but not always. There's a really good cornerback in free agency. 6 interceptions. So let's try to offer more for Clowney and for Hughes. So defense first right now here in free agency, I would say. There are not many really, really good offensive players available, and especially on wide receiver. So yeah, I'm fine with focusing on the defense here and maybe get some new additions offensively in the draft. So let's sim round 2. We're not losing out on anyone. Oh yeah, we lost out on TJ Edwards, another linebacker that I wanted to have. But again, it's fine. Still on the lead for most players, but the Texans still in the lead for Hughes and for Clowney. So if we want to have them, we need to offer more. 20 million, he's not really good. I think I already signed him in a past franchise. Did I sign him for the Texans? I'm not sure, but I remember that he was not the perfect edge player. Maybe it was in a career that I did off camera. But still, we could use him here for the Munich Wolverines, another addition for our D-line. Also now no one on linebacker that I have an offer left. This is a position we could use someone. Maybe Trey Flowers, really good tackling. Kazir White, also good tackling, decent speed. Maybe this is the move. Also a little bit cheaper, 8 million. Let's do it for 2 years, heavily front load that and hope that someone signs. And we have Kazir White. So yeah, no need for us to draft a linebacker. I think we're pretty good here, at least for 1 season. No one else signed. And we took the lead for Jadeveon Clowney and also for Mike Hughes. So let's hope that they are signing 2 weeks before scouting starts. Let's complete the day. And Tahir Tart, another defensive tackle, signed for us. We're not losing out on anyone. So we still should be on the lead for most players. And we are final week before scouting. Can we sign another player before the draft? Jack Fox, the punter, also necessary, but also everyone's still available. So Hughes on corner and also Jadeveon Clowney. But for the draft, we're now in serious need to get another playmaker. So this is a new scouting cheat sheet. It's also with words and not created by me. I mean, it's addition to my first scouting sheet, but it's really cool, way more automatic. And yeah, I'm testing that now for the new game. Just wanted to show that here Jalen Carter is definitely one of the top guys. Also Donovan Jennings, tackle here, round 4 to 5 projection, and seems to be really good in terms of run blocking, so that fits our identity. Could be a steal, let's mark him. And other than that, yeah, Bijan, really good, top 10, so might be out of range for us, which is crazy to say for a running back, but for sure one of the better running backs we've seen also in reality. Will Anderson also out of reach for us, and fullbacks. I'm taking also a look at tight end, but rather on the guy who won the award. I don't know where he is here, so maybe not really good here in the draft. Yeah, Kate Stover. Here he is, 8.3 grade. Again, the grades work a little bit different. Does not matter too much, just wanted to show it. And I'm going to have that open just to not forget, for example, to draft Donovan Jennings or keep an eye open to trade up for Jalen Carter. Let's see how the draft goes. Another problem I noticed, I saved the college game, but I saved it at the end of the season where the draft class was already generated. So I don't have the stats anymore for the draft players. Need to remember a little bit, for example, that CJ Stroud was by far the best quarterback. I remember that. Yeah, but yeah, not any ratings or stats in detail. Need to do it a little bit different next season. I also have a new idea for that. That was actually also the first time for me trying it out with a real draft class and the connected college game. Always things to improve, but let's take a look at the mock draft. CJ Stroud should be the first overall pick. Everything else would be really a surprise. Bryce Young for the Jets might be an option. Also, Peter Skoronski is projected to go there. Will Levis directly the third quarterback off the board, according to Larry Moore. And Bijan Robinson, third overall to the Texans. That would be interesting. Let's put it like that. And Henry Toto up there, top 5. Jalen Carter here, number 6. And here, number 7. So with a little bit of luck, maybe he falls down to where we're drafting. But now also with Fletcher Cox, we don't have the need on defensive tackle anymore. Will Anderson, also here, 9th overall, could be an option for us. I'm for sure still looking on the D-line and offensively, quarterback if someone falls, maybe. Otherwise, a skill position player, maybe Bijan, maybe a wide receiver, maybe a tight end like Michael Mayer. So let's head into the draft and see who's available here. The Falcons need quarterback, and should be no surprise, I'm not attempting to trade up to first overall. Let's take a look at the draft order. We are at 16, so not a good spot to trade up, to be honest. And looking at the big board, Bijan, number 1 ranked player here. Of course, running back, not the most valuable position, but as we know, the game does not care too much about that. But no surprises here. CJ Stroud, first overall pick, 87 overall. Really good player here with his 72 touchdowns in the college season. Are the Jets doubling up? Are they also going quarterback? Yes, they are. Bryce Young, 2nd overall pick, 86 overall, so only a little bit worse than CJ Stroud, more mobile and a little bit better accuracy, but worse arm and intelligence here in those ratings. Again, these ratings are also generated and also kind of randomly generated and adjusted from the college game. What I really like, so I don't really know how good the players are in reality, makes scouting still a challenge where the Texans go with the center. It's interesting. And the Bears take Jalen Carter. That hurts. He's going to be the 4th overall pick, defensive tackle Jalen Carter, 88 overall. So far the best player in the draft, strength 95. He's a stud and a really good addition for the Chicago Bears. And now the Browns are on the clock and they are going with Cyrus Torrance, the guard, 74 overall, so that's a reach. Broncos are taking Jordan Battle, so with that, Will Anderson still on the board. Bijan Robinson also, both tackles Peter Skoronski and Paris Johnson, also wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba is on the board. And Ricardo, also really good edge rusher. And Will Levis, of course, the quarterback. What are the Seahawks doing? They lost Geno Smith in free agency and now they're adding Will Levis from Kentucky, 84 arm, 80 overall. Good pick for the Seahawks. And now the Eagles are on the clock. Still no Will Anderson. In reality, the Eagles have the chance to get him with the top pick from the Saints. And here they are deciding to go with a free safety. Also a lot, big reach here, Keaton Ellis. And now we could think about trading up. I want to have Will Anderson. That would be really cool. I'm not sure if the Giants need him. I did not see the needs for them. Number 4 ranked player. Andre Carter is still in front of him. So let's hope. Yeah, they are taking Andre Carter, 80 overall. Really good tackling. He's a freak from Army and could be the first overall pick ever or since forever. I'm not too sure about that. From Army, who actually gets drafted in the first round. He's really good athletically. The Commanders don't need an edge rusher here according to the needs. So let's see if they're taking Will Anderson. They don't. And now, I mean, only a few picks away. Do we trade up? Washington take a center. The Chiefs also not in need for an edge rusher. Let's go for the risk. And they're taking Henry To'oTo'o, 77 overall linebacker. Could be a good addition for the Chiefs, but to pass on Will Anderson, Lions only need a punter here according to the needs. Now Skoronski, Bijan Robinson, and Will Anderson, the top players actually. And looking at my draft sheet, Bijan and Will Anderson are top 10 ranked players, but I do not have control over this draft class. Maybe Will Anderson is not good here in the game. Do we trade up? That's the question here. Good tackling, average speed, average intelligence, average strength. I don't know. It might be that he's a bust here in this draft class. But A+ technique, A football IQ. I don't care. I'm trading up. Let's be real. We need someone. And I said we need superstars. Will Anderson is the best or the closest I can get to that. Of course, I don't know the draft class, but it should only be a few picks. So how far are we away? A lot more. What can we give you? Do you need a linebacker? By now I have way too many. What about O'Shane Ximines or Cody Barton? Not sure. Let's offer O'Shane Ximines. Are you happy with that? A lot more. What else can we give you? I rather want to hold on to the picks. A cornerback? Not sure. What about David Edwards, the guard? 80 overall. Third string guard. It's a lot to trade up for, and they need a tad more. So I give you a 6 and I get back a 7th. What about that? And there's the trade. It took a little bit. It took O'Shane Ximines, our linebacker, and our backup guard David Edwards. But we are now 4 picks ahead and in prime position now to get what we want to. Okay, they want me to draft Jackson Smith-Njigba, but I made up my mind. I traded up for Will Anderson and not for Jackson Smith-Njigba. Let's draft him. And 81 overall. I hope for a little bit more. In reality, he might be one of the best players in the draft. Here, 81 overall, 72 tackling, 71 speed, athlete trait. That's good for sure. But yeah, let's hope that he can perform. So we have our edge rusher, and now also, yeah, difficult. I hope for him to be a little bit better, but we cannot influence that. Steelers are going with Peter Skoronski, 81 overall tackle. Could have been also an option for us. The Titans take Siaki Ika, also really strong defensive tackle. 75 overall, so good decision to not do that. Saints are going with Miles Farmer, actually, don't know the name, Nebraska free safety, 71 overall. And now the Lions traded back to actually get Paris Johnson. If I remember correctly, he was the best tackle here in the college football game with over 100 pancakes. So, good trade for the Lions actually to get a tackle and a really good one, and also get a linebacker and a guard from us. So their O-line should be elite. Now the Raiders on the clock, and they are taking Jalen Sammy, defensive tackle, 67 overall, so that's a reach. Defensive tackle class seems to not be the best one. And there goes Michael Mayer, 72 overall tight end. And if I remember correctly, yeah, Bijan is still on the board. Top 10 projected player, and also on the draft sheet, a top 5 player actually. Jackson Smith-Njigba is also here. Difficult decision. Should we trade up again? Might be too expensive right now. Let's wait, to be honest. Broncos need a defensive tackle, and they are taking one. Panthers could use a running back. They traded away Christian McCaffrey. And there goes Jackson Smith-Njigba. There goes Jackson Smith-Njigba. 82 overall, 87 hands, so would have been a really good fit for us. Maybe I should have traded up for him. But yeah, I'm happy with Will Anderson, don't get me wrong. But also really good pick here. A slot receiver, we know that. Good pick for the Panthers. And now the Cardinals are taking Robert Cooper, 68 overall, and now the Ravens are on the clock. So if we want Bijan, we should trade up now, I guess, because the Ravens could use a player like Bijan. Let me check what we can do here on the trade market. I don't know if this is a mistake, trading up for a running back, but he might be too good to pass on. And honestly, I don't know what to do in round 2. So let's offer them their our second round pick. This won't be enough. Maybe a safety. Marcus Epps, we have also Nasir Adderley. Is that too much? Maybe getting a 4th round pick back? No, that's not even close. Without the 4th round pick, they still want a lot more. What else can we give you? I don't want to trade away linebacker. Or actually, we have enough. Denzel Perryman. Maybe him, 30 years old. We still have Cole Holcomb behind him. Bobby Okereke. And we added Kazir White. Okay, why not? Let's go with Denzel Perryman. That's so much to give up. Maybe a 3rd round pick back. The deal is close. Okay. So what about a 5th round pick? And there it is. There it is. I don't know if this was a mistake or not. We just gave up an 88 overall, 30-year-old linebacker, a really good free safety, and our second round pick to trade up one round to go with Bijan Robinson. Again, I know his college stats. They were outstanding. In terms of yards, touchdowns could have been more, but especially his ratings. He is strong, he is fast, he has good hands. Let's hope and pray that this is also the case here, that the game projects Bijan Robinson to also work in the NFL. Running backs are always rated really high. The best players I've seen in the draft are running backs. What about Bijan? 96 overall. Yes, that's important. I mean, I expected him to be good, but that is really good. So he is already in the top 10 in the running back ranking in terms of overall. I know that many running backs are really good here in the game, but 96 is really good. He is strong, he has good hands, and remember, our new addition on coach Paul Reed was his name, or Steed, something like that, from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He likes running backs to be involved in the passing game. So Bijan could be the perfect piece for his offense. And I guess now we are done for quite a while. There goes another running back. So the Packers actually in the market for a running back. Another defensive end. Let's quickly go through some players and look if there are familiar names like Tanner McKee, quarterback, 77 overall, 87 arm. The Colts needed a quarterback. They got a good one. Was really successful with Stanford in the college scouting episode. 5th ranked team, and now gets drafted in round 1. There goes center for the Rams. Need help on the O-line. And round 1 is about to close with Jackson Kirkland, the tackle for the Buccaneers. And now round 2, let's see who's available there. Peter Kilgore, second wide receiver, after Jackson Smith and Jigba. And let's go through the picks. Not sure if I want to trade up or even for what position. There goes another quarterback. Did the Seahawks just drafted one in the first round? And okay. This intelligence is really bad. But let's do it like that. I'm going to go to the next pick, and let's see if there are any good players in between. Round 3, I just skipped the other players. I don't want to trade up again. Let's see any interesting players who went. Hendon Hooker, the Tennessee quarterback, 80 overall, really good intelligence, and now the backup for Patrick Mahomes. Not sure why the Chiefs need to invest a 3rd round pick here. Josh Downs, also interesting wide receiver, 79 overall. That was a good pick. Andrew Voorhees, really good guard, 79 overall here. Will McDonald, an edge rusher who was also not too bad in the college simulation, if I remember correctly, 71 overall. And other than that, the first cornerbacks went. Keely Ringo, 84 overall. Good pick for the Chargers in round 2. Caleb Hayes, 76 to the Cowboys. There was another cornerback, not that good. Another tight end, Jaleel Billingsley, 66 overall, so not really good. Nolan Smith, edge rusher to the Lions. So they passed on Will Anderson, got a bunch of players, and traded Nolan Smith in the 2nd round. Let's be real, the Lions had the better end of the trade. Eli Ricks, 83 overall, had 6 interceptions in the college game, now part of the Commanders. And Jalen Hyatt, the speed star, now part of the New York Giants, got drafted beginning of round 2. And now we are on the clock and I have no idea what to do. Okay, never mind, I have an idea. Jordan Addison played a really good season for USC, and also taking a look, I don't know if this is cheating or not, but taking a look at the beginning of the college season, I had a say for that. Together with Jackson Smith and Jigba, he had the best hands of the draft. And also here, acceptable, it says. Let's hope that this is really the case. 20 years old, in reality, is playing a good season for USC. Also good grades here. We need a wide receiver. And after Jalen Hyatt is gone and we don't need speed, we need reliable hands. Let's go with Jordan Addison here in round 3. And let's hope that he's at least a 74 overall. Yeah, 77. That's really nice. 80 hands. I expected more, honestly, because in the college game he had 100 overall hands. So I think this is a really good addition. Jordan Addison now part of the Munich Wolverines. Round 4, and looking again at some notable players. Joey Porter, 77 overall, good pick for the Saints. Darnell Washington, also really good, one of 3 really good tight ends for Georgia. Only 61 overall here. Tanner Mordecai, another quarterback for the Browns, 73, also not bad. Felix Anyudiki-Uzoma, 71. Also someone I had my eye on, but after drafting Will Anderson, I don't want to double up on edge. So we are on the clock, and on top of this draft sheet, there is tackle Donovan Jennings. Is he still available? He is. So that could be a pick. Yeah, other than that, Cameron Latu, tight end, maybe. But yeah, let's trust the sheet. I don't know too many names here. I'm not too familiar with college. I know the top prospects, but not everyone in detail. So I'm trusting the draft sheet and go with Donovan Jennings, the tackle, and I just went to the trade screen, did not want to do that. Let's have a look. He is 66 overall, so that's a reach. Our scouts were not really able to get a good player here. Does not matter too much. Let's sim to the next pick and not go to the trade screen again. I wanted to have a look at other notable players that got drafted in between, or rather, I'm lost. now I'm at the right screen. Are there anyone? Ulysses Bentley, running back, 80 overall. That's good. The first kicker went in round 5, 75 overall. We also need a kicker, I remember. Other than that, Quentin Johnston, a name that stands out, projected to be a round 1 pick, in reality now part for the Ravens. That would be fun. Physical wide receiver, so really cool. Let's go to the drafts. Not again to the trade screen. What is up today? I'm sorry. I wanted to go to the war room and trust our head coach with Cade Stover, the best tight end in college football simulation last year. He was really good in blocking, pass blocking and run blocking. And now we're taking a chance here. We need a tight end number 2. We are in round 5, so we cannot do too much wrong. 65 overall. That's not good. That's really not good. But tight end number 2, Cade Stover, welcome to the team, and let's close the draft. Oh, we have another 5th round pick. That is nice, but I have no idea who to draft. So my draft sheet says Malcolm Epps, top 10 ranked player in the draft sheet. We saw that, we cannot trust that, but I like the storyline. He's also from USC. So reunite Malcolm Epps together with Jordan Addison. If these grades are true. We have a stud here. Let's see. Malcolm Epps, we have our second tight end, and he's also not really good. Worth a shot though. I forgot we don't have a 6th round pick, so we are now in round 7, and we need a backup quarterback, so that could be our final pick. Is there a name that stands out to me? Molly Cunningham, maybe? I'm not sure if I even scouted someone. Okay, going back to the college game, Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina has decent stats, I would say, decent speed and well-rounded arm intelligence and accuracy in the college game. He is projected to go undrafted. Good speed here, so let's go for the athletic upside and take a shot at Grayson McCall and see if this is a good pick. Yeah, 71 overall. Not bad for a backup QB and not too far away from Desmond Ridder, but I forgot we need pocket passers. But we can work with that, and I rather have someone who can at least run as a backup quarterback when he's not even able to throw the ball. But I like the draft. I stopped the recording too early. There was another 7th-round pick. And I drafted Armani March from Washington State, 71 overall strong safety. Our head coach projected him, so I should rather trust our new head coach instead of the scouting sheet. I just think the scouting abilities of my coaches are really, really bad. But it's also more fun to go through the college game. Otherwise, I would have not seen Grayson McCall. And also, I mean, these are real players. I know some of them. I know Jordan Addison. I know Will Anderson. And of course, I know Bijan Robinson. So it's nice to have a little bit of another connection to them, to know the players. We drafted an award-winning tight end in Kate Stover. Let's see if he can get some snaps as a backup. Overall, I'm really happy. We have a playmaking running back. I'm really excited. Together with Tony Pollard, that should be the most explosive backfield in the whole NFL. So running the ball should be our strategy right now. Let's see what our new head coach is going to do. Will Anderson, also a good edge rusher. Let's hope that he can be the superstar we need on the defense. Jordan Addison replaces Julio Jones. Good hands. I mean, that could be similar, but other than that, let's see how our rookies are going to perform. I'm happy with the draft. I was, of course, really happy with already knowing the players, and this is not going to change. Next year's draft class will also have some studs like Brock Bowers, for example, Marvin Harrison Jr. I will maybe divide the scouting also to the regular season to not have everything in one episode. We'll think about that, and also remember to save before the season ends to have the stats available, to be able to use them to make decisions. But also other than that, we traded up, made 2 first-round selections, 2 really good ones. I won't go through free agency right now. This will be a part of the next episode, the rest of free agency and the start of the season. Pretty excited whether we are able to take the next steps as the expansion team from Germany, as the Munich Wolverines. I really loved drafting real players. I hope you enjoyed it as well. It was a lot of effort to prepare everything, but I'm happy with the outcome, especially if you see this 96 overall Bijan Robinson. I hope that he performs. Thank you for watching, everyone, and see you next week. Bye bye.